Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum, dear students. This session focuses on a critical assessment and conclusion of communicative language teaching approach. I hope and expect by the end of this session you would be able to understand the nature of criticism that has been laid against CLT, and this would also help you draw certain conclusions about it. Well, what I would say about them is that they successfully directed the attention of the language teaching profession to the aspects of language other than grammatical structures. In a sense, this was a positive aspect of communicative language teaching, that for the first time explicitly an effort was made and a conscious realization was established that the focus should not be on the teaching of the grammatical units or the grammatical linguistic structures. Rather, the focus should be on the communicative and functional aspects of language. By treating language as a discourse, not as a system that consists of different structural units, they tried to move classroom teaching away from a largely systemic orientation. Now, there were positive aspects of it and the negative aspects of it as well. The criticism was that it moved more towards a largely communicated orientation that relied upon a partial simulation of meaningful exchanges outside the classroom, but as far as the structural aspect was concerned, it was not given attention. Another criticism was that they also retained this particular time to a kind of negative effect or an ill effect, that its cardinal belief in a linear and additive way of language learning, as well as its presentation, practice, and production stages of the sequence of teaching, in spite of their interest in the cognitive psychological principles of holistic learning. Now, actually, this aspect of criticism throws light on or provides insights into the contradiction that CLT at that time had. Though it believed in the cognitive psychological paradigm of education, still, when it came to practice, it followed the same procedures of presentation, of practice, and of production of language. From a classroom methodological point of view, there are no fundamental differences between language-centered and learning-centered pedagogies. So the criticism that is made against CLT is that despite all its claims, actually it is almost the same as it was in the language-centered classrooms against which CLT was presented. The term communicative revolution in the professional literature is clearly an overstatement. Now, the critics who point out flaws with CLT, they claim that the promotion of the term CLT or the propagation of the idea of CLT is overstated, and it is also overrated when it comes to the literature on language teaching. Those who make such a claim do so based more on the array of innovative classroom procedures than having any sound theoretical underpinnings. Another piece of criticism is, in spite of trendy jargon in textbooks and teachers' manuals, very little is actually communicated in the L2 classroom. So, when we look at the literature related to CLT, when it is talked about, when it is discussed and it is presented in different books by the linguists, by educationists, by researchers and writers, a lot of trendy jargon, a lot of new phrases, innovative words are introduced to refer to the activities that are given in the teacher's manual. But when it comes to the practical aspect of teaching in the classroom, there is very little difference from the previously taken approaches. The way it is structured does not seem to stimulate the wish of the learners to say something, nor does it tap what they might have to say. Now, if this is the criticism that was laid against CLT through the times that it has established, and also we need to keep in mind that communicative language teaching approach did not establish in one day, and it did not have a single origin or orientation. It was fed by multiple streams of various disciplines, and different people at different times with multiple approaches contributed towards it. So through its process of development, of course, there were different stages when different kind of criticism was also laid against it. Now, apart from the negative impact of whatsoever the criticism was, there was some positive impact as well. And the valid criticisms or the critical points that were made against it, they had a positive impact in the sense that it resulted in a kind of disillusionment for the proponents of communicative language teaching approach. They started realizing the flaws in it or the weaknesses in it. What was the result? They eventually opened the door for a radical reinforcement or refinement of the approach of the critical language, communicative language teaching approach. They tried this time to present an approach that focused more on the psycholinguistic processes of learning and not the pedagogic procedures of using different activities. So, in the light of this criticism, the proponents of CLT over the times tried to improve, I would say, especially the theoretical underpinnings of this particular approach. What is the result of all this criticism and then positive reaction to this criticism? The result was that today a strong or a more process-oriented version of CLT is not only available but also is practiced around the globe.